All right, next we have inverse trig functions. If you look on your calculator, you have your sine, cosine, and tangent buttons. But if you would look right in there, right above it, the little subscript, you'll see the inverse functions. That is how they look, guys. Write this down. Like I said, guys, make sure you're pausing it whenever you need to. Use the inverse when finding angle measures. All right. Write this down as well. Use your calculator to find each angle measure to the nearest degree. All right. First, I want you to key in the inverse tangent of 0.75. All right, put that in your calculator. Pause. Come back. And don't forget, guys, it is to the nearest degree, which is, of course, your whole number. You knew that. You should have gotten 37 degrees. 87 degrees, and 42 degrees. Pause the video, guys, and be sure to write this down. This is page 84, solving right triangles. Find the unknown measures. You're going to round lengths to the nearest hundredth, and I want you to round angle measures to the nearest degree. This is triangle DEF, sorry. You have your 58 degrees, angle F is 58 degrees, and ED will be 14. And we're going to find every unknown measure. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and find the measure of angle D. If you look, we don't know the measure of angle D, we don't know side EF, and we don't know side DF. So that is what we're going to find. So if we find the measure first, let's find the measure of angle D. To find D, you just simply subtract 90 minus 58. And that will give you 32 degrees. So you can go ahead and fill that in. Angle D is 32 degrees. All right, next let's go ahead and find EF. Find EF. All right, since we're finding EF, you look, let's go ahead and use, let's use angle F. We're going to find EF. It doesn't matter, guys, but I'm going to use the angle that I was originally given. If I find EF, I'm looking for the adjacent, and I'm given the opposite. I am looking for the adjacent, and I'm given the opposite. The adjacent, here, I write it over here. The adjacent and the opposite. Which trig ratio will you use? It will be the tangent, right? Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Equals opposite over adjacent. So we're going to use the tangent of 58. Is equal to opposite, which is 14, and the adjacent is x. That's what we're going to find. All right, we're going to multiply both sides by x and then divide both sides by tangent 58. So you should end up with x equals 14 over tangent 58. If you were studying, guys, you would pause the video and you'd do this yourself. And then you would come back and play the video and see if you got the same answer. That is a good way to study. All right, when you put that in your calculator, 14 divided by tangent 58 is approximately 8.75. So side EF is 8.75. All right, last, let's go ahead and find, here, I write it there too. Let's go ahead and find DF, the hypotenuse. we'll still use angle F since that was our original angle. So we're going to find DF. Alright, so again, we're given the opposite, and this time we're trying to find the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse, because it is opposite from the right angle. Alright, so the opposite in hypotenuse is sine. So you're going to use the sine of 58 is equal to opposite 14 over the hypotenuse is x. That's what we're finding. So when you multiply both sides by x for those x's to cancel and divide both sides by sine 58, you're going to end up with x equals 14 over sine 58. And you're going to get 16.51. So you found all of the unknown measures. The measure of angle D was 32 degrees. Side EF was 8.75. And side DF was 16.51. That is how you would work one of those problems. All right, and then last, page 85, solving right triangles, which is continued. I'm going to go ahead and give you triangle R, Q, P. RQ is 3.1. QP is 8.9. If you notice, this time we don't have angle measures, so we get to use the inverse to find angle measures. So let's find the measure of angle P first. All right, if you look, here's angle P. We are given the opposite and the adjacent. So that means we're going to use tangent since we're given the opposite and adjacent. So the measure of angle P, you're going to use tangent, inverse tangent, opposite 3.1 over adjacent 8.9. That is all you do. You put it in your calculator just like that. You press the second tangent and then 3.1 divided by 8.9. And you should get about 19 degrees. Alright, so now that we know that angle P is 19 degrees, you guys should know how to find angle R without even using trig. So to find the measure of angle R is 90 minus 19. And that's going to give you 71 degrees. And then we're going to find PR. We have a right triangle on two given sides. Let's use the Pythagorean theorem. Now, you could use 19, and to solve for the hypotenuse, you could use sine or cosine. But we won't do that. We're just going to use 3.1 squared plus 8.9 squared is equal to the hypotenuse, which we're trying to find, x squared. Try to work this on your own. Pause it and try to work it on your own. 3.1 squared plus 8.9 squared gave me 88.82. And that still equals x squared. Of course, we're going to take the square root of both sides to get x by itself. And you should get about 9.42. So PR is 9.42. So you found all of the missing unknown measures. You found the measure of angle R, the measure of angle P, and the side PR. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, guys, and I will see you on tomorrow.